So this past week has been kind of hilariously timed. I'm not even kidding when I say that for months now on my content calendar, I had a Titanfall 2 in 2023 video scheduled for this past week. I had to shift some stuff because of the Season 6 reveals and Modern Warfare 3 stuff that we discussed here. That kind of stuff I couldn't predict months out. But I wanted to touch on Titanfall 2 for months now because I wanted to jump back on after nearly 7 years to see what it'd be like and also to just touch on more games that aren't Call of Duty. But if you haven't heard, it's hilarious for one reason. Because for the first time in years, there was a significant update that has now kickstarted a ton of speculation and buzz in and around the Titanfall 2 community. So today we're taking a look at that new update, the buzz and what it means for the future. So as we go along, drop your thoughts down below. Did you play Titanfall or Titanfall 2 back in the day? Would you like to see a revitalized resurgence of the game even to a larger degree than what we have now? Or would you like to see a Titanfall 3? Let me know your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with more FPS content here. Of course, tons of Modern Warfare 3 related content as the multiplayer reveal, beta, and launch are right around the corner, but other content like X-Defiant and even things like Titanfall 2, as in also, not just only Titanfall 2. Anyways, I'd love to have in the community if you'd like to join. And finally, check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for the best blue light glasses on the market, where code Espresso can get you 10% off your entire order, but more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into the news on Titanfall 2. So, Titanfall 2 launched all the way back in 2016, which makes me feel old at how quickly these games are hitting anniversary after anniversary after anniversary, but it was a game that was smack dab in the middle of Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1, two behemoths in the FPS genre, which sure may not have been their highest rated or best performances of each of those franchises, but they still launched within two behemoths of that year of 2016. Battlefield 1 came out on October 21st, Titanfall 2 came out on October 28th, and Infinite Warfare, with Modern Warfare Remastered, mind you, came out on November 4th. So all within the span of like 2.5 weeks, we ended up seeing these three major FPS games launch in the genre. It's a game that personally I think deserved better from the very beginning, and it was one of those byproducts of just poor timing in that regard. But over the years, it was something that still, of course, had that cult following, still had that very diehard fan base, but it stopped getting updates and support, especially when Apex ended up launching. But Titanfall Vanilla, and I have to specify the vanilla version because there are modded clients for Titanfall on PC like Northstar, but the base Titanfall from Respawn went by the wayside in favor of that Apex development and support. But the news here is that finally, after years, there was a substantial update as of recently. Now, there's a few Reddit threads that have chronicled the entire thing pretty well, but in summary, this is essentially what ended up happening with this update. Absolutely the biggest thing here was that it fixed matchmaking and servers. The game was plagued with a bunch of connectivity issues for years at this point, from both official channels, but also, if I'm not mistaken, quite a bit of DDoS as well. We saw also that there were private matches that were now out of beta, which had become a meme really within the Titanfall community because it was like that in beta for years. Although, here's the thing, that in and of itself, I think just kind of had the name changed. It seems like not really all that much has changed, if anything, in regards to private matches, minus the removal of the name on the menu tag. But then we also saw map geometry and glitch locations that have been fixed out. In some smaller instances, like it's not anything that's too crazy or an insane amount of them that were fixed, but there were definitely some spots on certain maps that were fixed out. We also saw new and returning game modes with rotating playlists, which have been regularly updating since the update, again something that had not happened in that time pre-update. And we saw new weapons and regularly rotating loadouts in the 1v1 Coliseum mode. So while on paper, sure, it doesn't seem like a whole ton in terms of quantity, the biggest thing is that, of course, the game is just playable, especially on PC again now at this point, something that for years it really wasn't in that vanilla or base version that you'd end up being able to get on Steam. You'd have to go to things like the Northstar client, something that, like for the COD equivalent, for those that aren't necessarily aware, it would be like IW4X or that SM2 mod that was being developed and shut down. Essentially just like community revival projects that allowed for different ways to access the game that were either hosted servers that people could jump on, community made patches for things that could have been like exploits. I know that older CODs, your information really wasn't safe on it, on the PC versions especially, and so those kind of clients gave you that protection and updated support that developers and publishers just didn't do for those older games anymore. So that was kind of the same thing here in that regard, but something that just added to the intrigue and mystery was that it's not anymore, but recently there was also a really big sale for the game on Steam, which made a lot of players curious as is. But what really did it was we had a teaser of some kind with the most recent Apex Legends patch called the Nessie Transmission, where there are 3 codes listed that seemed like arbitrary numbers, but Titanfall creator Iniquity ended up deciphering this where it was total number of seconds to specific points in time, where those 3 codes that were listed, well, they pertain to the release dates of Titanfall 1, Titanfall 2, and Apex Legends. Now, Titanfall 2 turns 7 on October 26th, and the new Apex season starts on the 31st. So that's something that was some immediate teasers here that maybe people thought, okay, this might be going in this direction. But what I personally find the most interesting before we get to those possible outcomes is that all of this was done in radio silence from Respawn, and there's been like in-game messaging that's since been updated even further that somebody's pulling the strings here behind all of this in an official capacity, but there's been no official acknowledgement of these changes. So my big question is, why? And why now? You change something that makes the game playable. Like, these are actually, again, on paper, seemingly pretty simple. Oh, you fixed the game. But they fixed the game in a sense that it's not been really playable in an official and vanilla capacity for years. That's the biggest change you can possibly make. And again, all of this without announcing anything. It's weird to me, but not in a bad way. So what does this mean? Now, there's 2 prevailing theories here that I've seen. Firstly, that it's just something that, again, tying back into those dates, that maybe it's just something Titanfall themed for Apex, which sure is possible. Apex is still getting regular support. It's still Respawn's main game. And for those that don't follow any of this, they're set in the same universe. So maybe it's something that they're bringing over a character from Titanfall and making them a legend, making them a character in Apex Legends, where it's just a crossover event here at that. Or we see some sort of seasonal cosmetic push here that is meant to be a crossover. That's absolutely and certainly a possibility. But the other theory that people are running with, maybe with some blind optimism, and as a result, I don't want to get my hopes up like this, but what if, and hear me out, Titanfall 3? With how many people loved Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, with how many people loved that era of Jetpack COD with Black Ops 3 as their maybe main point here to which game they liked from our sort of side of the community. For those that played both games, Titanfall and, say, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, it's really doubtful that you'll find somebody that dislikes those absolutely. So do I think that a Titanfall 3 is on the horizon? I mean, there's a slim chance here, and I would really love that, but we'll have to wait and see. But those are the 2 prevailing theories, and theories they are. Either way, it's very interesting to see how all of this has just happened again with absolutely no communication from Respawn, from EA. It's just happened for those that are eagle-eyed and are able to end up checking this out for themselves. To be able to pick up on this, and I think that in of itself has been really cool experience to create enough buzz that a lot of people are back on Titanfall 2, especially by comparison to where it was before. So that is where we're at. Titanfall 2 is back, baby, or at least kind of. Anyways, that's what we're going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys going to jump on Titanfall 2 here? Do you want to check it out? Are you looking forward to what may be coming in the future? Do you hope to see a Titanfall 3? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But before we wrap everything up, make sure to check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for 10% off your entire order of what I think are the best blue light glasses on the market. I've used their frames for 2 to 3 years now at this point and have been incredibly happy with every pair. Honestly, still some of those originals that I had from the very first ones they sent me, I still have them, still wear them, so they definitely keep up with time. But they recently just launched their Diablo frames, which for those of you that like aviator style frames out there, these are absolutely for you. I'm definitely gonna be picking up a pair for myself. Love aviators, but I can't do nearly enough justice for the studies, the in-depth details they provide, and the information that they can give you about their product. I'll leave that all linked down there in the description below if you guys want to learn more. But what I can tell you is, again, in about 2 years of using their product, they're the most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames of any glasses that I've used, and I absolutely think they've helped my daily productivity. If you guys want to learn more, honestly, encourage even just that. Just check it out at the very very least. But if you want to pick something up for yourself, use code Espresso to get 10% off your entire order. Link in the description below. But that said, that is where I'm going to call it. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing just to video with all things Modern Warfare 3 upcoming with a lot of COD stuff this next month, X Defiant, maybe even some more Titanfall updates. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later and hopefully see you pilots on Titanfall 2. But take care and peace.